Hello, um, I am Elsa. This is my first YouTube video, and I just thought I'd do this kind of tag. I kind of add my own twist to it, but tell you guys 5 books I love, 5 books I want to reread, 5 books I'm in the middle of, and 5 books I want to read. Right now, I'll do 5 books that I love. Tress of the Emerald Sea. I am still in the middle of it, but since I'm more than halfway, I think it's safe to put this on. Books I love. I'm absolutely loving this. This is the first Brandon Sanderson book I've ever read, and I absolutely love his writing from this, and it's just written so well. If you haven't read it, you need to read it. Unbound is my favorite indie book, and it's absolutely amazing. Trust me, if you read this, you'll get an introduction to the world of the Magi, which the author is republishing the trilogy of, and this can totally be a standalone if you just like this but aren't interested in any of her other work. Trust me, you'll love this. I just read Locked and Chained. Phenomenal book. I will say you'll probably care about the main character more if you've read the Unmasked trilogy, but it can also be a standalone read too if you are only interested in murder mystery and historical fiction. Read Locked and Chained by McKenna Rowell. This is a really good book, and this is a gorgeous cover, and you also get the other main character on the back. If you love pirates, read The Alchemist, the Siren, the Thief. I got the opportunity to arc read a really amazing book this summer, and I think you all will love Noontide by Beck Leavesley. It's so good, and I read it in like 2 or 3 days. I just could not stop reading, and you could see all the reviews and my review on Goodreads. I can't remember if I put it on Amazon yet, actually, but I put it on Goodreads and Instagram, and I guess this is kind of a review here. So if you like real world fantasy, like fantasy in the real world, you will love Noontide. Now onto books I want to reread. Theater of Memories, I read in like 2 days, I think, and I absolutely want to reread this. It looks all fall. It's actually spring because it's during the character's prom, but it does give fall, so who knows? I might read this around the same time I first read it 2 years ago, but you'll see some familiar names. Paris Kaufman and McKenna Rowell. I've mentioned them before with Unbound and Locked and Chained, but this is absolutely an amazing book. If I liked books by the separate authors, you know this one's also good too. So I highly recommend Theater of Memories. This next book, I have this whole camera stand going on and I don't want to mess it up, and this book happens to be in the camera stand, so I'm just gonna have to put a picture like right here. But The Empty Manger by Paris Kaufman, I definitely want to reread this winter Christmas season because it's a fun adventure for kids. If you have kids, you want to get a book for Christmas. If you want them to know the true meaning of Christmas with a little fun mixed in, get them The Empty Manger by Paris Kaufman. You won't regret it. Now this one, the book I tried to read in 5th grade and didn't finish, and only finished like 2 years ago. I would love to reread this. I love Harry Potter so much. I have like 3 different copies of the first book, and this is just the one I could pull out right now. Very old copy. I have like the regular set, as you can see right there. But I'm working on Prisoner of Azkaban right now, but I would love to reread the first book. So we'll see what happens. Next up, Princess Academy, because I don't really remember what happens, but I remember I loved this one as a kid. I have the updated covers too, and as a kid I didn't know there were 3 books, so I've only read the first 2, but I would love to reread Princess Academy. This book, I would love to reread The Healer's Heart. I love this one. I love learning about like African culture, how she fits into the equation, not being like a typical fighter for a hero, but like how she like learns to be a healer and stuff like that, and she's just the sweetest protagonist too. So I definitely want to reread this one day. It's my favorite character out of this whole series, so I definitely want to reread this one day. Now on to books I'm in the middle of. The Raven's Revenge, which I am loving. I especially love the character Tinta. She's my favorite. I do want to say, because it's an adult fantasy, the print is tiny, which I'm not going to complain about the amount of words on the page. I do want to say it does take longer to read though, but I'd still read it. I'm still fine with reading it. I also want to take a minute to admire the back cover. The illustration is gorgeous. The next book I'm reading as an ebook, so I'll put the cover here. I actually have the sequel of the book because it was a damaged copy and the author sent it to me for free. Anyways, I'm super thankful for that. But the first book is Dark Oasis, and I am 25% of the way through on the ebook, and it's getting really intense, and I love it, and I think I'm going to go through it way faster. I can't wait to finish it. The next book I've been working on for like 2 years, and I'm just past page 200, and that's The Agaped Bearer, which I am loving, but I started listening to it on audiobook to make myself faster, and I just barely logged back into Audible, remembering I still have to finish this book. And I like, usually if I'm not doing anything, I'll read this while I read the audiobook. Or while I listen to the audiobook for like an immersive setting, but I've just forgotten, and I hate that because I see the author's art all the time, and I just really need to finish book 1, but I'm super excited to finally finish this one day. Prisoner of Azkaban, I just read it this morning. I'm on page 69, chapter 5, The Dementor, and I'm loving it. Okay, the next one is on my shelf, but it has little trinkets on it, and I don't want to move that right now, which is probably why I haven't finished the book. But the Herbwitch Apprentice, Herbwitch, I've heard people say it multiple ways, but it's super cute. The illustrations totally add to the story, and I just cannot wait to finish the book. I just need to. 5 books on my TBR that I haven't read yet, or that I haven't read too much of yet. First book, The Ascendants by Jazza Brooks, aka just Jazza on YouTube. I feel like this is gonna be a bit heavier, a bit more adult, so I'm like, I just want to read it to like see how he writes, and I'm sure it's a good story, but I think it's kind of out of line with the books I normally read, but the cover is cool. So, but I'm not just the cover, but it also sounds like an interesting story. But can't wait. I only got to like this part right there, so not even a chapter in. Can't wait to see what my opinions are of it. The next book, The Mage Pocket Apprentice Alliance. And I'm thinking I could read this in the fall. It's got to be fall, right? It's got to be a perfect fall read. So hopefully I'll get to it soon. Yeah, I think I can. I've read like every other book by this author, minus the updated version of a book she unpublished and republished, and minus this one. But I've read basically all her books. So can't wait to read this. Book 2 in the Unanswered Question series, which I previously got to page 39 to after I read the first book. I just really want to read this. This was like my favorite cover when I first saw them, because I just loved like the contrast and the saturation and like just everything about the cover design and the Firefox. Like, it's a very pleasing cover. So can't wait to read this book. The third book in the Human-Born era, which is also very intimidating. I have read to page 7 so far. It's very intimidating. What else can I say? But it is a really good series by a really good author, so cannot wait. The next book, which is on the stack of the Herbwitch Apprentice which means I don't want to ruin the trinkets, which means I can't show it physically to you guys. But The Hunter in the Room by Ariana Hosado, it's book 2 in her series that, is it just called the Our Mistaken Identity series? I don't know. Or the Emmeline Terror series. I've finished Our Mistaken Identity. All her stuff is very good, and she even updated Our Mistaken Identity since I got the copy of the book, so it's probably even better now. So do yourselves a favor and go get her books, plural. Go get all these authors I mentioned books, because they're ones I either have read and loved, am reading, or are really excited about. So that was it. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope you stick around for more. I'm an author, so you can stick around for the author side, and I'm a reader, so you can stick around for the reader side. Maybe I'll throw in some artist stuff, because I also make art. So we'll see where this goes for now. This is a new channel I'm starting out, and I hope it'll be fun while I'm here. Yeah.